Hello everyone, Sue from Pokisutami here, and in this video we are going to be speculating about some of the possible names for the yet to be revealed Scarlet and Violet DLC Indigo Disc Pokemon. But I must apologize, at the moment I'm battling a bit of a cold, so my voice is a little bit scratchy and it might sound a little bit odd. But anyway, Indigo Disc is not far away. It feels like we only got the teal mask 2 weeks ago, but I know it was longer than that. But anyway, so far only 4 new Pokemon have been announced. The evolution of Duraludon, Archuludon, Paradox Raikou, known as Raging Bolt, Paradox Cobalion, known as Iron Crown, and of course the mythical turtle Pokemon Terrapagos. But it's a badly kept secret that we can expect to meet an additional 3 new Pokemon while playing the Indigo Disc DLC. Currently, everything is speculative. But recently, new information was found within the codes. Twitter user ABCBoy101 found a list of Pokemon names in multiple languages. This list of names was not scrubbed, as it was probably meant to be. We can see by looking at the list that the names of the DLC Pokemon are hidden in this image. It's basically a word phonic puzzle that points towards possible Pokemon names. So let's look at ID 1021 for an example. Just by looking at the English names listed between Tepig and Terrakion, we know the first 2 letters of this mystery Pokemon's name needs to be T and E. But after the T in both of the Pokemon's names, the next letter is different. So P for Tepig and R for Terrakion. What this means is that the next letter of the mystery Pokemon's name includes the letters between these 2 letters, will be the next letter in the mystery Pokemon's name. And it works the same in other languages. Looking at the Japanese names listed for 1021, we have Terrakion and Deribado. So we know that the Pokemon needs to start with a te de sound. The next sound needs to be between ra and ri, which doesn't leave a lot of options. But it's not necessary because the hidden name is clearly Terrapagos, which is the same name in both languages. 101 is also for an already revealed Pokemon. Once again, by looking at the Japanese and English, between Rabsca and Raichu for English, and between Dageki and Dastodasu, the hidden name is found to be Raging Bolt in English. As for the Japanese, Raging Bolt's Japanese name is Takeru Raikou. ID 1019 is for the future Paradox Pokemon Iron Crown, with English being between Iron Bundle and Iron Hands, pointing towards Iron Crown, and the Japanese being between Tatsuno Kaina and Tatsuno Kobe, pointing towards Iron Crown's Japanese name, Tetsuno Kashiwa. The last known Pokemon name in this image is for ID 1023, between Arceus and Archen for English, pointing towards Archelodon, and between Blizzapos and Brimuon for Japanese, pointing towards Archelodon's Japanese name, Briduras. Now it's time to use the pattern of taking the first different letter of 2 listed Pokemon names to guess the names for the remaining mystery Pokemon. I will primarily be looking at the Japanese side and a little bit of the English side. But if you can figure out any possibilities with any of the other languages, please do let me know in the comments. Starting with ID 1013. For Japanese, it's between Kamasujo and Kamichu. This ID is without doubt for the mysterious Diplin evolution that will appear probably as a certain someone's ace Pokemon. I think the Japanese name will take the Kami from Diplin's name. Kami has a lot of different meanings such as god, paper, hair, but in this case it likely refers to Ka for fruit and Kamitsu, which means nectar. There is also heavy speculation that this evolution will have multiple worms, so the name will likely reference this. For now, I have 2 possibilities, Kami Oruchu and Kami Yamata-chu. Both possible names reference the mythical Japanese beast Yamata no Orochi, a 8-headed serpent. However, I believe that the first one, Kami Oruchu, is more likely, as Kami Yamata-chu feels a bit long and a bit difficult to say. Kami would have the same meanings as it did for Diplin's name, and Orochi would come from the name above, Yamata no Orochi. And Chu can also mean bug. I believe the Chu is important as both Applin and Diplin's Japanese names end in Chu. As for the English name, Something along the lines of Hydraplin seems to be an easy guess, even without these hints. Moving on to ID 1020. Looking at the Japanese names listed, we have Tetsuno Ibara, Tetsuno Kaina. So straight away, we know we are looking at a Future Paradox Pokemon, because all of the Future Paradox Pokemon have Tetsuno at the beginning of their names in the Japanese version, just like how they all have Iron at the beginning of their English names. The only remaining Future Paradox Pokemon who has not yet been revealed is Paradox Terrakion. So the first character of the two names that are different are I and Ka. So we need to use a character between those two. Two possible options myself and So could think of are Tetsuno Iraba and Tetsuno Irao. Iraba translates to rocky place, and Irao translates to huge rock or boulder. I personally like both, but I prefer Irao a little bit more. As for the English name, Iron Boulder would make a lot of sense, and it seems like the folks over at the Code Cracking Discord tend to agree with this. And it would make a great match with Tetsuno Irao. Next up, let's take a look at ID 1017. The listed Japanese are Ueno Ragon and Usoki. Judging from the ID number, this is likely for past Paradox Entei. We need to start with the letter U. Then the next letter needs to be between O and So. However, it's worth noting that the other two legendary beast paradox forms start their name with a verb, and unfortunately, there is not a large amount of U verbs in Japanese. The best option we have that would make sense in the context of Entei would be Ugatsu. Ugatsu basically means to drill or to carve, or to pierce, something along those lines. So now we just need to consider the second part of the name. For this we have no real hints, we just need to make contextual guesses. So some that I and So came up with are Ugatsu Kaien. Kaien meaning flame or blaze. Ugatsu Hono, also meaning flame or blaze. And Ugatsu Kazan, meaning volcano. Honestly, out of the three I don't have a particular preference. However, the option Ugatsu Kazan makes a lot of sense when considering lore from multiple Pokédex entries mentioning Entei and its connections with volcanoes. As for the English name, it suffers from the same issues as the Japanese names. Looking at the name hints in English, we see it needs to start with go, but it also needs to be a verb, and there's not a huge amount of go verbs in English either. I couldn't really think of anything myself for this one. So after I finished trying to draw all of my own conclusions, I checked out the work done on deciphering these codes by the good folks on the Code Cracking Discord. And the general consensus seems to be that the English name will likely be Goujing Fire. And lastly, we have ID 1022. This is very likely for the mysterious Peach Pokemon, whose codename Dokutaro was found in a data mine. Not only that, we have also seen glimpses and references to Dokutaru at least twice while playing the Teal Mask. But although it will forever be Dokutaru to me, that is just its codename. Now it's time to use this word game puzzle to try to guess its real name. Before looking at the letters, I think it's important to consider the Japanese names of the Loyal Three, as Dokutaro, the leader of the trio, will likely have a similar naming theme. Okidogi is Ine-inu. Ine means that's good, and Inu means dog. Monkey Dory's Japanese name is Mashimashira. Mashi means something is getting better, and Mashira is an old style word for monkey. And lastly, Pheasandipity's Japanese name is Kichikigisu. Kichi means good fortune, while Kigisu is the Japanese name for a pheasant. So all three have ties to good luck or good feelings in their names. The listed Japanese names here are Monozu and Morphon. So we need to start with a Mo, and the next letters need to be between No and Ru. I feel like Momo would be the most logical choice, as Momo means peach. The tricky thing is figuring out an expression for good luck or good feelings that would fit well with Momo. One idea that So had is Momo Taian. Taian basically means lucky or auspicious day, a day where you experience nothing but good luck. and all your hopes and wishes are granted. However, figuring out the English name is also very challenging. All we know is that the beginning will most likely be Peach, and it will follow the same naming pattern as the names of the Loyal Three in English. However, I don't think Dokutaru's English and Japanese names need to match perfectly, because although the same theme is seen, there is some differences in the meanings between the Japanese and English names for the Loyal Three. But that's all we have for today's video. Do you have any opinions on what the names could be? And are you looking forward to playing the Indigo disc? Please let me know in the comments. As always, thank you so much for watching. I hope this video has been helpful and informative in some way. Until next time, it's time to say bye bye. Mata ne.